Though I'm expecting more students to come, we want to start off because some of our friends have to leave early also. And here I'm happy to be with this Swati Sharma as well as Shiva Surji, who are well-known friends for us, and our Matajis from various places, and dear devotees and students. Today, I'm concentrating on only some of the salient points that Swamiji has given to the Western world, which has come to us from the time immemorial. These Upanishads are said to be treasure trove. It is not that made in one day or 2 days, not written by one rishi or so, but thousands have contributed, and we say it is discoveries. It is not that someone has thought about it and has written. So we say they are apaurushaya. That means no person. It is not linked to one person or two persons. It is taken as impersonal. That is the real basis of our culture. That is why we are able to absorb from all sides the best of all cultures. We have got this dictum, Yad Badram Tanna Asva. That means let the good thoughts, good ideas come from all sides. That broad vision is there right from the beginning, because Upanishad did not base itself on anything like a dogmatic religion, but they always tested, and their nature was just like our scientific experiment. That made them so solid and immortal. See, this is a man's, what to say, everyone nowadays, they are giving the testimony. This is supreme achievement which we can think. And then we don't know from how many thousands and thousands of years it is coming down to us. So, even the historians outside or the world thinkers, they give a lot of value for the Upanishads. I will, if at all there is time, I will just show them at the end. So this literature is really immortal because the theme that it is dealing is immortal. The Vedanta is not a simple theory, it is a living philosophy, and it is at the fundamental of our nation, and it is a real spiritual inspiration. This is why so many times the people wonder, these are the Mahavakyas as well as the great messages that is keeping us from these thousands of years. Some of you are familiar with that, and some of you who are not familiar, I'm just repeating few of them. The noble thoughts, the nobility is something which cannot be even thought of today. Thousands of years back, we called the people or the human beings, we dealt with them as man. That is, Amritasya putra aye dhamani divyani tastu. This is, ye the children of immortal bliss, which are the Swamiji's words which enthrall the entire parliament. Swamiji said and explained, you are the divinities on the earth. It is a sin to call a man a sinner. It's a standing level on the man's nature. So his bold words not only influenced these people who are just in front of him, it carried to the entire world, and the scientific community as well were enthralled by this one. He just like an apostle of the past ages, he said, Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. This is the new message I am carrying to you all. And he converted this Upanishadic Vani into the daily the motto of Ramakrishna mission, Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitayaja. There is a new motto that he brought out for this age. So this is a Vedantic inspiration, and this has got a potential to keep us back on the track. Our country, Swamiji says, fainted time to time, but every time something, the divine potential has inspired and brought her back to the life. This is the Vedantic inspiration because we have dealt and derived this strength from Atman. Their theme is freedom and human spirit. Every time we see that whenever our country fell down, there were Krishna, Buddha, Shankara, now Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, are the host of saints appearing at the proper time, the nick of time, and bringing us back to life. Otherwise, long back, we would have been a dead culture. In this present age, Swamiji showed Vedanta in the action. When the vision of Vedanta is translated to the language of common people, this is what Holy Mother said. Nobody is a stranger, my child. Everyone is your own. This is what Swamiji said, Baner Vedanta, I am bringing to everybody's house. So he made it simple for everybody to digest. And this new motto that he has brought, now every monastic order in the India and abroad, they have adopted. That is Shiva Jnane Jiv Seva. That is Atmana Mokshartam Jagati Thaja. Even simplified, this is Shiva Jnane Jiv Seva. Look everybody as the divine manifestation and serve them. They are not beggars. You are not standing on a high pedestal and giving, but you are serving them. This is the new motto for this new age. And when Swamiji stood in the Parliament of Religion, he was at the confluence of two mind floods. One is Oriental, another Occidental. And he brought India's gift to the Occidentals. And imagine what was the great ovation he had. That was the first thing, the meeting point between East and West. Then science and religion, and two opposite principles, the Eastern and Western, all what we say now interfaith dialoguing and everything started at that moment. That was the really potentially, it was such a momentous moment in the great history of the world. So this person who was there at the confluence of these two mind floods, he was condensed India, an icon and heart and soul of the oldest spiritual order. Now in the Parliament, just imagine what happened. It was a demonstration of Vedanta in action. When he just said, sisters and brothers of America, though thousands of people were pulled, they cheered and cheered him, and they did not know why. That is why the bloodshed, one of the ladies who was present there, an old lady, she says, when this young man started, the people became mad with joy. For what? They knew not what. That was the reaction. Why? Why? Not because of his personality, because one of the ladies says, when he started speaking, it was a voice alone in the void. Everything else disappeared. Then what for they felt? That is the real strength of Atman. He was a Brahmagyani, Atmadarshi, and he saw the soul in everybody, and everybody saw themselves in him. That is the real cause. When I see my own image of myself, I am more attracted than anything else. So in a Brahmagyani, we say that we see ourselves. That is one of the oldest of our discoveries. So that is the pull that everybody felt. Otherwise, many have said already, maybe sisters and brothers of America. But that did not exercise so much of pull. So Swamiji was a real harmonizer, and he stood for the real thing, for what the Parliament of Religion started. So he also demonstrated one thing, not only the Advaita, another thing, many salient points of Vedanta became clear to others. He said, see, just like different streams having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea, O Lord. The different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. Another thing he stressed was that unity. The unity that we are having, the people are surprised to look at our country. They say in one paper I read, the people are waiting to see north and south of India coming apart, east and west coming apart, and the states are all falling into pieces, but nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. We throw all sorts of colors, all sorts of languages, all sorts of traditions, all sorts of culture, everything. But it is only at the surface of a deep ocean called Bharatvarsha. And at the depth, we have discovered that immortal thing, Advaita. We have discovered that gem. That is the real thing, why India will never come apart. It is in our bloodstreams. We are still living that. Each one of us, knowingly or unknowingly, we have got it in our blood. That is why, even if we are forced by fanatics, we cannot become fanatics or fundamentalists. We cannot. Simply we cannot. It is not in our blood. So, this is our real glory, our divine nature, birthless, deathless, and pure and holy. So this Atman, what we call Satchidananda, this is our real nature. See, here Swamiji has given another explanation for the evolution. Come up, O lions, shake off the delusion that you are sheep. So I'm coming here to the one important thing that Swamiji explained in a Vedantic way. He said, yes, Darwin's theory is true, but when we call in mathematics, in a subset, it is that it rules in one small sphere, which we call biological sphere. It can't explain why the physical evolution took place. It can't explain why the psychological evolution took place. It can't explain why spiritual evolution is taking place in everybody. Every one of us. We say, from Vedantic point of view, we cannot stop this evolution at any point because we are like a compressed springs and we are that Satchidananda as if it is compressed into a short small spring and is kept inside each one of us, whether it is amoeba or a human being. And it cannot stop expanding or evolving at any stage of life. We are never satisfied to be in that one place. And so we have to evolve and evolve and evolve till we become one with that Satchidananda. That is our real place where we have to. So we are genetically programmed to evolve. That is the Vedantic explanation of evolution. And that explains and includes everything possible in the whole of universe. Not only simply biosphere or this and that. So that is why Swamiji said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest divinity within by controlling nature, external, internal. Do it either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, our books, our temples and forms are but secondary details. He stressed it is only secondary details. So, this is how he awakened the very soul of India. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. See, this immortal call that Swamiji has given, that is the impetus even today behind all our actions. Whether we are celebrating his this thing, whether we are remembering to go ahead, whether we are getting that enthusiasm to go ahead in anything, whether secular or spiritual, that is the eternal call that is going on. So everyone has glorified this message of Upanishads. Whether we look at anybody like Chopin or a German philosopher, or whether Will Durant, who is a world historian, he said, if at all we have to live, no doubt this century had a Western beginning, it has to have an Eastern ending. This is what he said. To this philosophy, she owes her peaceful and benevolent nature. This is the reason why India can never be aggressive. And because of it, there is a singular absence of aggressive political and military policies. And we see the living imprints of Vedanta in the everyday life. Say, you can discover far more. I'm asking especially students to think deeply and find out more and more imprints in your daily life. Sometimes we do it very mechanically, but it has got so much of meaning. Even just take, say namaste. When I am saying namaste, it is that divine in me greets divine in you. That means I am already seeing the divine everywhere. And the Jyoti or the light is always a symbol of the Atman. That is why we always give it on the auspicious moments, that when the day comes or the dusk comes, it is in every household we light this lamp. And then these bhajans are prayers that we do. And even our cultural things, music and dance, everything, you will see, it has something, an aura around it. And you will see the Vedantic imprints there also. So I just invite you to find out more and more in your own daily life. There is meaning for what your grandma is doing, or everybody's household, what we are doing. So it is nothing, less valuable. This great culture is carrying the imprints of our ancient rishis, even today, and it will continue. Nobody can kill it. See, many great philosophers outside, whether it is Emerson or David Thoreau, or everyone has credited, yes, it is India who is mother of history, grandmother of legend, great-grandmother of tradition, whose yesterdays bear date with the mouldering antiquities. See, she is the great-grandmother of all of us. That is what everybody is saying. Only we are not understanding. And somehow, sometimes I feel that we are importing the best in us but exporting all the worst in others. So that should not be. The real meaning of Annobhadra, let the noble thoughts come from all sides. This is the prayer of the rishis. We must be ready, we must be opening our windows, but we should be able to greet and take the best in others and keep all the best in ourselves. So everybody, these are all the testimonies given by the great historians, great philosophers all over the world. Even the Encyclopedia Britannica says the same thing. It seems the human race, the cultural race, first started in India. This is what they also say. And David Foley has become such a great fanatic for India. He's still living, and is living only because of the enormous love he is having for this culture and the tradition. And the new things that he is discovering every day needs a lot of attention. People who want to study more, they can read his books and find out a treasure in that. So this is Abdul Kalam saying, in 3,000 years of our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us. They have also taken from us, but we never conquered any nation. We have never grabbed their land, their culture, their history, and tried to enforce our way, because we respect the freedom of others. So, one small thing I will say and finish with that. When Abdul Kalam visited the monastery, the oldest monastery in Tawang, he sought one of the oldest monks there. He was above 100 years, maybe he was 110 years or so. He tried to talk to him, and he was a Tibetan. So he engaged a person who can translate. The question that he asked was, what do you think about the future of our country? He was so fond of our country, he said, what do you think about the future of our country? Then this old venerable rishi, he said, nobody can kill or destroy our country, India, because it is a beloved country of God's. This is the only country which never was aggressive, which has never dipped its hand in the blood of others. So, it will be immortal, as its scriptures are immortal. This is what he said. So, with that, I just take leave. Thank you very much.